Life on our planet is incredibly diverse and full of surprises. In Indonesia, there is a small island called Bunjin. You won't find white sandy beaches, postcard-perfect coastlines, or palm trees hanging over turquoise water here. Yet for many people, this place feels far more fascinating and alive than the tropical islands we usually see in travel brochures. For more than 200 years, the Bajau people have lived here in houses built directly on sand and coral foundations. In this video, we will explore how life works on Bunjin Island, why the island keeps growing, and what makes its inhabitants truly unique, including a rare ability that seems almost superhuman. Bunjin Island is located in the Bali Sea, about 50 kilometers from the city of Sumbawa Besar. Many media outlets have called it the most densely populated island in the world. While such titles are often debated, it is fair to say that Bunjin is one of the most densely populated islands in Indonesia. If the island had an area of just 1 square kilometer, its population density would reach nearly 41,000 people. About 2 centuries ago, members of the Bajau people from South Sulawesi discovered a tiny sandbank, measuring only a few hectares. They began building simple stilt houses directly above the water. As the population grew, space quickly became scarce. Instead of leaving, the residents made a bold decision. They began creating land themselves. Using coral stones, they slowly expanded and reinforced the island by hand. With this simple but effective method, Bunjin grew to around 9 hectares, and the process continues even today. At present, approximately 3,500 people live on the island. Almost every square meter of land is occupied by houses built extremely close to one another. Open space is nearly non-existent. The population continues to grow. Families with 5 or 6 children are considered normal here rather than unusual. Each year, new families are formed, and the demand for additional land keeps increasing. Building a house of about 70 square meters takes roughly 1 week, provided that relatives and friends help with the construction. However, building the house is only part of the challenge. Finding materials is far more difficult, as resources on the island are extremely limited. As a result, it is common for 2 or even 3 families to live under the same roof. Despite these conditions, Bunjin is considered one of the fastest-growing islands in Indonesia. Every year, dozens of new houses appear, and each one requires the creation of nearly 100 square meters of new land. Historically, the Bajau people have been inseparably connected to the sea. They are often referred to as sea nomads. In the past, they lived a fully nomadic life, traveling across the sea for generations. Today, many Bajau live on land, but the community on Bunjin Island has preserved much of its traditional lifestyle. Most of the island's residents are Muslim. Their faith has been passed down from generation to generation since the time when their ancestors traveled through the waters of Malaysia and Brunei. Fishing is the primary source of income for almost everyone on Bunjin. The catch is sold on the mainland, which can be easily reached via a wide sand causeway built in 2002. The island is also home to goats, though they look more like stray dogs than farm animals. Due to the lack of vegetation, their diet is highly unusual. The goats survive by eating food scraps and trash. Seeing a goat chewing on paper or fabric is completely normal here. As a result, the animals often suffer from health problems, and sanitation remains one of the island's most serious challenges. Some residents also earn money by collecting coral stones. Coral remains in high demand because it is the cheapest material for creating new land. However, finding dead coral now requires traveling farther and farther from the island, as nearby areas have already been exhausted. The Bajau are famous for their exceptional diving skills. They can easily stay underwater for 5 to 6 minutes and dive to great depths to catch fish using spears. Children begin diving at a very young age. It is both a necessity and a favorite pastime. Scientists have discovered an astonishing fact. The Bajau people have spleens that are, on average, 50% larger than those of other populations. This evolutionary adaptation allows them to store more oxygen and hold their breath for extended periods underwater. According to the Bajau themselves, some individuals can remain underwater for 10 to 13 minutes. What makes this even more remarkable is that enlarged spleens are found even among Bajau who no longer dive and have lived on land for many years. This proves that the adaptation developed over generations and is passed down genetically. Interestingly, neighboring ethnic groups do not share this trait. However, life on Bunjin also has its darker side. As in many isolated communities, waste is often dumped directly into the sea. The sand causeway that connected the island to the mainland helped boost the local economy, but it also introduced serious problems. Before its construction, the local diet consisted mainly of seafood, supplemented by small amounts of rice and vegetables. Modern life brought cheap packaged foods, plastic bottles, and plastic bags, but no education on proper waste management. Over time, the shores of Bunjin became covered with massive amounts of trash, severely damaging the fragile marine ecosystem. And that ecosystem is essential to the island's survival. Until the late 1990s, Bunjin remained largely isolated from the mainland, just as it had been for centuries. In the early 2000s, the Indonesian government launched several infrastructure projects to bring the island into the modern era. The causeway made it easier to sell fish and supply the island with goods. To temporarily address overcrowding, hundreds of tons of sand and stones were delivered, reducing the need to use coral for land creation. Electricity was introduced, and even a small internet cafe now operates on the island. Fresh water is regularly delivered, as local wells provide poor quality water. Most importantly, a secondary school was built on the mainland at the far end of the causeway. Today, Bunjin Island is one of the most unusual attractions in the Sumbawa Besar region. Tourists come here to experience the atmosphere of a fishing village, enjoy fresh seafood at affordable prices, admire beautiful sunsets, feed the goats, and meet the Bajau people. If you're lucky, you may even witness how houses are built from scratch. Indonesians are known for their hospitality, but on Bunjin Island, it feels especially genuine. There is a strong sense of community here, a perfect example of the saying, close quarters, but no hard feelings. Space becomes more limited every year, yet the residents remain content with their way of life and gladly share their positivity with visitors. The island is remarkably safe. Doors are rarely locked because everyone knows each other. Committing a crime here without being noticed is almost impossible. Despite the challenges, no one seems eager to move to nearby islands where land is plentiful. Bunjin may not be a paradise, but in the end, what truly matters is not where you live, but whether you feel happy there. And it seems the people of Bunjin have found their answer. That's all for today. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps the channel grow.